August 2nd, 2026. Negeri Sembilan's Blue Wave, a post-election assessment and the beginning of Malaysia's next political realignment. The outcome of the Negeri Sembilan State Election on August 1st, 2026 confirms that the blue wave has evolved from campaign rhetoric into a measurable electoral reality. Barisan Nasional secured 18 of the 36 state seats, Perikatan Nasional won 7, while Pakatan Harapan retained only 11. Together, BN and PN now command 25 seats, giving the alliance a two-thirds majority and bringing two consecutive PH-led administrations to an end. Voter turnout reached 72.64%, involving 646,084 registered voters, an increase from 68.35% recorded in 2023. This higher participation is significant because it demonstrates that the outcome was driven not by reduced voter engagement but by broader electoral mobilization. Compared with 2023, BN gained 4 additional seats, PN increased its representation by 2, and PH lost 6. At party level, UMNO secured 16 seats, MCA won 2, PAS captured 4, Wawasan obtained 3, while DAP retained 9 and PKR 2. Amanah and BERSATU failed to win any seats. The defeats of prominent PH leaders in 𝙳𝚊𝚘𝚍 and 𝙬𝚊𝚆 became symbols of a broader political shift. 𝙳𝚊𝚑𝚍 lost to an MCA candidate, while Aminuddin Harun failed to preserve his influence as incumbent Menteri Besar. Nevertheless, these outcomes do not establish that all non-Malay voters shifted towards BN. Detailed evidence by ethnicity remains unavailable, and any definitive conclusion requires comprehensive polling stream analysis, demographic turnout data, and verified voting transfer patterns. Even so, the geographical pattern is evident. BN strengthened its position across Malay-majority rural and semi-urban constituencies, while PH largely retained support in selected urban seats. MCA's victories in 𝙳𝚊𝚘𝚍 and REPA illustrate that BN can successfully penetrate mixed constituencies when effective local machinery, credible candidates, and coordinated vote transfers operate simultaneously. At the same time, MIC's inability to secure representation demonstrates that BN's broader recovery remains uneven across all its component parties. A decisive factor behind the outcome was the coordination between BN and PN. Better organized contests reduced the fragmentation of Malay votes and enabled both coalitions to concentrate resources on different target constituencies. However, the victory should not be interpreted as evidence that the partnership is free from internal challenges. BERSATU contested independently yet failed to secure representation, whereas its splinter party, Wawasan, won 3 of the 4 seats it contested. These results expose continuing questions regarding BERSATU's leadership, organizational identity, and long-term political relevance. For PH, the defeat cannot be explained solely through identity politics. Although ethnic narratives may have influenced certain segments of the electorate, broader issues, including living costs, dissatisfaction with the pace of reform, communication weaknesses, supporter fatigue, and perceptions of government performance also contributed. Simply attributing losses to opponents' rhetoric may reassure loyal supporters but will not recover lost constituencies. PH must undertake a comprehensive review of its campaign machinery, candidate selection, economic messaging, and engagement with middle ground voters. The BNPN victory also brings constitutional responsibilities. The formation of the state government and the appointment of the Menteri Besar remain subject to the constitutional framework of Negeri Sembilan and the discretion of the Yang di-Pertuan Besar. Negotiations over appointments must not undermine the electoral mandate. A two-thirds majority provides substantial legislative authority, yet without transparency, institutional accountability, and respect for constitutional processes, electoral success can quickly become a governance burden. The national implications are considerable, although not uniform. Melaka and Pahang appear most likely to experience spillover effects because of BN's organizational strength. Perak and Negeri Sembilan itself demonstrate that mixed constituencies can change when Malay support consolidates, while PH's non-Malay margins weaken. Selangor and Penang require different strategic approaches because of their stronger urban composition. Kedah, Kelantan, and Terengganu remain heavily influenced by PAS, while Sabah and Sarawak cannot be evaluated using peninsular assumptions because regional parties and state-specific issues continue to dominate political behavior. Post-election strategy should begin with three priorities. First, BN and PN should publish a transparent governing framework covering portfolios, shared policies, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Second, PH should undertake a rigorous, data-driven post-mortem rather than relying on revised political slogans. Third, the Election Commission and independent researchers should expand polling stream publication so claims regarding demographic voting shifts can be tested empirically. Without stronger evidence, political narratives will continue to outpace verified facts. For investors, changes in government are not the principal concern. Policy uncertainty is. Any incoming administration must preserve project continuity, fiscal discipline, procurement transparency, and regulatory certainty. Political victory acquires lasting economic value only when translated into sustainable development, employment creation, and enduring public confidence. Ultimately, the Negeri Sembilan election confirms the existence of a blue wave within the state, but does not by itself establish an automatic nationwide domino effect. BN possesses renewed momentum, PN has benefited strategically, PH has lost ground, and BERSATU has suffered a decisive setback. To transform electoral success into lasting political realignment, BN and PN must govern with greater discipline than they campaigned, remaining united without becoming overbearing, decisive without becoming divisive, and effective without weakening the institutions that underpin Malaysia's constitutional democracy. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting my podcast news channel. Your time, attention, and engagement truly mean a great deal. I sincerely appreciate your continued support and thoughtful viewership. Join, follow, like, and share.